Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs, and I am here with week 29 of the Slow Stitch with K3N. And today we're going to be working on a mandala. It's going to be my version of a mandala. K3N made a beautiful one that she drew out her own template and just measured and made triangles and circles and just really was beautiful. But I didn't want to try that. She did give some ideas for other ideas. If you didn't want to draw your own template, you could look online for templates, which I did, and I didn't really find anything online that I thought I could reproduce with fabric. She did say that you could just draw your design on some fabric and stitch it, or you could paint it, but none of those things really appealed to me. So I thought and decided that I would try. Another suggestion she gave was you could use some fabric that you had on hand that had different motifs, designs that you could cut out and arrange. So I thought I would try doing that. So I'm going to show you what I came up with, and maybe it'll inspire you to try this, or maybe you want to draw your own mandala template and try doing that. I will link to her video in the description box so you can go watch hers and see how she did hers. But I'm going to do mine a little different and I think a little simpler for me. So I'm going to pause this and we'll get to it. So here is the design I came up with. I'm not sure if it's really a mandala, but I think it kind of looks like it could be one. It's not totally done yet. This is just my plan, my idea of what I wanted to do. I had this fabric that had this little motif of a flower on that I cut the flower out and I laid that down and traced it with purple fabric. And then I'm just trying to reproduce this design. I made 2 circles. I cut 2 circles on fabric to use for the center. One of them I measured with this larger thread spool and the other one with this smaller thread spool. And then these little diamonds that I'm hoping to put in here on the petals, I had this fabric that had all these triangle shapes and diamonds, and I'm just going to cut those out and use them like that. And then for the background, I just cut 2 different squares. I think one's a 4-inch square and one's a 3.5-inch square. I use these templates to cut the background, which is a 5-inch square. So we have a 5-inch square, a 4-inch square, a 3.5-inch square, and I just kind of laid the squares like diamonds, and then I laid this flower shape on top. So I'm hoping to be able to stitch all that down and then embellish it with stitching. So what I'm going to do now is finish cutting out these little diamonds. I'm going to need 2, 3, 5 of them. So I need to cut 4 more out. And I'm just going to do that with this fabric. And then I'm pondering whether I should put something in these corners. I had cut a petal shape out. Where did I put that? I cut this petal shape out. I thought maybe I would put 4 petals in the corner, just to accent it, make it look a little more striking, I don't know. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be back, and we'll start stitching it down. Okay, well, I've got all the pieces cut out. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put these petals on the corners or not. I'll have to wait and see what it looks like after I get things stitched down. It might be just a little bit too much, but we'll see. So I think I'm going to take these off. I'll probably end up using a little glue to hold those down. And take these off. And this flower. And don't have my handy dandy little iron to iron that corner down. My handy dandy little iron stopped working. I don't know why, but it just stopped working. So I have to order another one. Which I did. Excuse me, I ordered another one on Amazon on their Prime Day, so I hopefully got a little bit better one than I had. So I think what I'm going to do here is just stitch these two squares down. And probably just use a running stitch. I think I'll just go like this all the way around. And then, excuse me. Oh, my throat is not cooperating today. It just seems kind of froggy. So I'm going to take this purple embroidery floss and start stitching these squares down. And as I said, just doing a running stitch. Start here at the bottom. The mandala, I'm not really a great fan of mandalas, but what I think they remind me of is the kaleidoscopes. And I used to really be a fan of kaleidoscopes when I was young. My parents bought me a kaleidoscope for Christmas one year, and I just played with that. I just loved seeing all the different colors and images every time you turned the little handle. So that's what these mandalas remind me of, is kaleidoscopes. But they are quite involved, some of them. And what Catherine did was awesome because she drew her own template and folded and measured and really ended up with a beautiful piece. But I just didn't feel that I wanted to do that because I'm not good at measuring and creating templates that are that involved. So I decided to just try to do it simpler, which I'm hoping this is. So for any of you that want to try a simpler way, maybe this will inspire you. I would say go find some of your fabric that has some motifs that you might be able to use. to cut out, like triangles or circles or flowers, and then just kind of piece them together and see what you come up with. I like that it has different colors. I forgot to mention that I put a piece of batting behind this purple square. But you know, if you want to use a hoop, you could do that also. Yesterday, my friends and I here in my community, my neighborhood, we were creating sun catchers. And we decided we're going to have a weekly Wednesday craft meeting. And my one friend and I are kind of in charge of it. We have to come up with projects. So next week, we're going to do some flower pounding. So everyone's excited. They want to go find flowers and pound them. So I'm hoping it works out well. I've tried it a few times and wasn't all that successful, but it was fun. But I have watched a few videos on it, so I'm encouraged to give it a try again and see what happens. Oops. My thread just came out, and I'm going to have to rethread my needle anyway. So I'm going to rethread this and then thread a needle again, and I will be back. Okay, I stitched all around the squares. I think it looks really nice. I like how it makes all those little triangles. And then I pinned the flower down, and I'm going to stitch that now with this gold thread. I think we'll accent it nicely. So I'm just going to do a running stitch around the edge of that too. And then we will decide what to stitch on next. I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. It's a little difficult to stitch through because I put that batting on the back. I think the batting's just a little too thick, but we'll see. I hope I'm talking loud enough. I had someone comment on my last video that they couldn't hardly hear me even when they turned up the volume, so I'm not sure what happened, but I know I don't really talk loud, so I have to make a note of that to try to talk a little louder, I guess. I'm not really a professional video maker, so I'm not sure if I should be adding a microphone to my setup here or what I should be doing. So if you think that I'm hard to hear, then let me know in the comments and I'll try to figure out what to do. But this is the first time I've had someone tell me that they had a hard time hearing me. But I do know that I talk quietly. I've been told that my whole life. So have to make a note to try to talk louder. But I'm really enjoying stitching on this. I'm happy that I chose to do the pattern this way. Sorry, Catherine, I didn't follow your template instructions, but you always say you do you, so I'm doing me. So I'm just going to continue going around, stitching all the way around the edge of this flower, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got the flower stitched down. I think it looks very nice. And now I'm going to put these little triangles on each petal. I'm going to put those down before I put this circle down, because I want them to go under the circle, I think. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want them to go on the circle. Yes, I think they would look better on the circle rather than under. Maybe not. I think it would look more finished if they were under the circle, yes. So I'm just going to lay them on there, probably put a little bit of glue underneath. And then stitch maybe just a couple of stitches to hold them in. Just want to get them laid down while the circle's still there. I think that will look nice. Gotta get my glue stick. Only have this big glue stick. I need to get a smaller one. I'm gonna take the circle away. Oops. Put a little bit of glue. Just enough to hold them down. One more. A little more in the center. And now let's see if they look okay when I put the circle back on. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to stitch each one down, I think, with 2 stitches. Of this purple thread. See how that works. It's getting a little more difficult to stitch because now I'm stitching through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. So I think if I do another one, I will just not use the batting. Okay, it's going to be 3 stitches. Three little stitches. And I'm not going to worry about the raw edges because I think I'll tie this off because I don't want to waste thread. Because this is going in my journal, so it's not going to be washed. If it was, I guess I would probably go around the edges of these little triangles. I'm not sure. Hopefully I can just do 3 stitches on each one. Yes, that'll work. So I'm just going to go and do the next 3 and I will be back to show you the results of this. Okay, all the little triangles, or not triangles, diamonds, are stitched down. And I think it's looking really pretty. Now I need to put my circles in. And this circle is going to cover the tips of these diamonds. Just want to get it on there evenly. I think that's good. Pin it, and then I'm going to stitch it with this purple thread that I've got still in the needle. And I think I will continue just doing the running stitch all the way around. I'm just going to be doing stab stitches because, oh, my needle came unthreaded. I'm going to do stab stitches because there's so many layers. Okay. Hopefully I have enough thread to go all the way around. I think I do. So it's been a really nice day here today. I think it got up to 80, but we're happy for the temperature because we had so many days of really, really hot weather. So this is a reprieve. And I'm almost, excuse me, around to the end of this circle. These actually would make, I was looking at, if it was a little smaller, it would make a very nice coaster. Or I guess what they call now mug rugs. A mug rug. But then you would have to make sure that, I guess, the edges were stitched down because you would be washing it. But that could easily be done. Actually think I might make a couple smaller ones as coasters. Also, it would make a nice greeting card. Make a small one and then stitch it to the front of a blank card that you were making. Wouldn't that be nice to receive as a greeting card? And now I've got my little purple circle. I'm not sure that I want that purple circle like that. I think I might want a darker purple, or maybe even a different color. I'm gonna check my stash and see what I can come up with, and I'll be right back. Wow, yes, look at that. Found that little flower I cut out, and it looks so much better than just this plain purple. So I'm going to put a little glue on that and stitch it down. Just trim it here a little bit. And then stitch that right in the middle. Yes, that really makes it pop a little better. And what shall I use to stitch this down? I think I need a little bit of maroon thread. Maybe this. I think that would work. Just need to get a needle to thread here. So we'll get this threaded and stitched down, and then I'll figure out if I want to put something in the corners or not. I'm really enjoying this. I was hesitant in the beginning about creating a mandala and wasn't really quite sure what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. But once I got going, it just kind of all came together. So I would encourage you to try it. And maybe if you want to draw your own template, you can go watch Catherine's video. She has a separate little video about how to draw a mandala template. And then she shows you how she did hers. But if you want to try doing a version like mine, maybe just search your fabrics, see if you can come up with a little flower, like this one, or similar, and then just build on it. If you want to just cut 2 different circles, little triangles, different petals, and then just cut a couple of squares and put behind it. It's really fun. Really fun to see what you can come up with. And then I'm just doing simple running stitches. I mean, of course you could do fancier stitches if you wanted. Oh no, what happened here? Caught on something back here. Pulling purple thread through. I don't know how that happened. Oh. Well, guess I still had some purple thread left in there. Didn't realize I didn't tie that off. Okay, here we go. So hopefully I inspired you in one way or another. Actually, that's all I want to do is have fun stitching these weekly projects and hopefully inspire someone else to just pick up their needle and thread and do something. And if it ends up wonky, it ends up wonky. At least you tried. And most of the time, I think mine have turned out fairly pretty, and I've had fun doing them. I do hope to do a video on the flower pounding after I see how it goes with our weekly craft meet next week. Get a little more experience with it. And I'm also working on Jerry Bellini's Dot a Day project. I'll be doing a video on that to show everyone my dots I've been doing. And who knows what else Catherine will come up with for us to do next week. I really wish I could do her wonky Wednesdays, but just haven't had time to get into that. Okay. Stitch that little flower down, and I think I'm going to do some French knots there in the middle in purple or gold. Don't have enough gold left. Let's see if I have just little bits of gold. Maybe I'll do white. I don't think white will show up good enough. Pink. I think purple. So I'm gonna get some more purple and I'll be right back. Well, here I am back. I went and got my purple thread and I was stitching all the little French knots, and I didn't have the camera on. So sorry, I thought I had the camera on, I didn't. So this is the completed piece and I'm really happy with it. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope I inspired you to maybe create one like this. And I hope to see you again soon with another video. Have a great day.